Hello everyone, welcome back to GTA Online with me, longclawgta where we always deliver. I'm back in the city today, heading to my submarine. I've got some work to do. I know everything seems a little bit flat and stale in GTA right now, and the most recent update, the stunt races, doesn't really hold my attention. I'm a money grinder and I need to be making money when I'm playing GTA. That's how I operate, and I know there are a lot of other money grinders out there too who are still waiting for something else to spice up their GTA life. Don't forget, the Cayo Perico Heist wasn't out that long ago, and we're so lucky to have a solo friendly heist, and my instinct and everything I've read about the forthcoming updates to GTA show that they're going to keep committing to the solo players who enjoy playing and earning money through grinding on GTA. This week there is some double money on the special cargo business. That's a great one, but I still find myself gravitating towards the submarine and the Cayo Perico Island because that's the best way still to make good money as a solo player in GTA Online. So today I'm going back to the island to rob old El Rubio, and I'm going to show you how I go across the rooftops again. And I've done a longer video this time without as many cuts in it, so let's see how we get on. So I did a video some time ago showing how to scramble across the rooftops and avoid most of the guard activity on the island. I'm bringing this back to my channel in another video today, just showing you the full process without as many edits in it, because a few people have asked precisely where to climb up on the roof and where to exit the roof, and that seems to be the major sort of questions that people have. So let's have a look at it together. I'm just launching the heist. I've already set this up and it's been sitting here waiting while I've been busy doing Assassin's Creed. I've got this on hard mode because I didn't wait for the cooldown, which is usually the case for me, and I've taken the long fin approach because there's just a little bit of secondary target activity that I want to take advantage of at the airport. Because I'm doing this heist solo, I will usually go for the long fin approach and take whatever I can from the airport because it's so easy to fill up your bag. I hate leaving this island with an empty bag. It's just, I find it so frustrating, so I will always take whatever I can from the airport, even if that means it's a low value target such as weed or cash even, because I'd rather go off the island with an additional sort of 400,000. And if you add the small safe in El Rubio's office to that, usually you can get between 450, 490k in your bag, even if you have a low value target. But I'm lucky enough to have one of the high value secondary targets as well as a couple of low value secondary targets too. So I'm going to take what I can from here, and I'm parking up. This is my little spot where I always park up. It allows me to run across the grass and approach the little walkway where the guard walks up. It gives you a bit of distance, and remember, try not to run around with your guns. If you're not super experienced, keep your guns hidden until you need them, because you will get seen. The cone of vision, particularly on hard mode, widens considerably, so you want to avoid running around with your guns out. There's a guard that walks up this little path, and that's what I'm waiting for here. And just behind this wall is the power station where you can disable the cameras and the lights and everything, and that's definitely a smart move if you're planning on coming to. The last thing you want to do is come to the airport, fill up your bag, and then get killed or lose some of the target because you're being shot. So the best thing to do, take out this guy, run down the road and take a right into the power station and remove disable the power and the lights, and then it just makes it a little bit easier. You've not got to worry about the cameras and stuff, and that actually is just the case for the compound as well. So I've been busy making videos for Assassin's Creed and the new DLC that's come out for that, but I have been quietly grinding away on GTA, and you can see that I've ranked up to level 500, and I wondered what to do, how to celebrate and mark this occasion. Usually I do something and buy myself something, but I find myself in this sort of position where I have purchased so much of the content, and there's not really much that I haven't bought. So you know what I bought myself some bikes, some push bikes, and I put them in my garage in my Eclipse Tower penthouse apartment, and I've actually enjoyed riding around on my bike. So I'm going to make a video on that, because just marking my rank to 500, and I guess now I'm looking at rank 600 will be the next one. It took me quite a while to get from 400 to 500. I don't know why. I guess because I do a lot of cooperative play with other players, so I'm not usually taking the most amount of XP from the missions that I do. If you follow the double money and stuff like that, that's the best way to rank up. So I'm going to get my targets here using the old forklift. Make sure you're doing this. If you go to the island for the scope out, never neglect the hangar. It's the easiest thing in the world just to come in. You can run up on that little stairwell in front of me. You can run up a ladder behind here and actually scope out the upper level targets. And there are 6 potential targets that you can find here in the hangar. So don't neglect those, because the law of averages shows you're going to get a high value target in there. Probably every other heist, at least one, and it's definitely worth taking the time to do that, because if you don't, what you're doing is leaving money on the table, especially if you're doing the heist solo. Remember, you can't really get any of the targets in the secondary target rooms because you need 2 cards, and there are some glitches I've seen people using where you can bust open through the door, but I still won't do that, because I think that that's exactly the kind of thing that Rockstar will do to show their power. They will start resetting accounts for people who have done that. It doesn't take much for them to run a query saying show me everybody who has completed the Cayo Perico Heist as a solo and taken some of the in-compound secondary targets, such as gold, for example. And they'll have a full list of those players, and they could just at will just start resetting those accounts. And that's exactly the sort of thing they've done before with the casino chip glitch and things like that. And you can get away with it for a while, but I don't want my name on that list when that happens. So I avoid that. I would rather get these secondary targets. I don't need the money anyway. I've got more than 300 million now, so I'm happy to take these secondary targets here. And if you're like me and just wanted to do things legit, then this is how you do it. And there are other areas on the island where you can take advantage of the secondary targets. If you want to head up to the cornfields, there's usually something decent there, and that's quite easy to get to if you come out of the compound once you've got your bags, and then head directly to the left and follow the road all the way round, and you're heading for the telecommunication tower, and that is where the cornfield is, just behind that, and there's usually some decent targets there. And of course you've got the docks, but the docks are heavily guarded. But if you prefer, like me, to try and get the secondary targets out of the way before you enter the drainage tunnel, then this is the place to come to the airport and use the long fin approach. Just learn your way around the airport, learn the guard routes so that you can take them out, and you might be lucky enough to find the guard truck or the guard uniforms down here during your scope out, and in that case it just makes it really easy to follow a different approach, a more covert approach. You might sacrifice your elite challenge doing it this way, because you tend to spend a bit of time here before you even get to the island, so you're going to spend 5 or 6 minutes here. If you've got people playing with you, you can have someone waiting with a boat or something like that just to speed up the process, but the majority of the time you're going to eat up probably about a third of your elite challenge time, so be aware of that. And again, it's something that you work out the odds, how much money you're going to make from coming down here, what are your secondary targets, and should you be risking your elite challenge for that, or do you want to take a bit more money in the elite challenge and not worry about it. See, my bag is full now, and I've got 411,000 here, and I'm going to check out the safe in the office and see how much I can get for that. And I always run around the back, over the wall, it's nice and safe, and then straight ahead is where I entered. Straight ahead shows me where I parked my boat on that little slip of land, and if you park it there, it doesn't float away the way that it does if you just abandon it somewhere near the coast. So be aware of that as well. The boat, the long fin, will disappear and float off into the ocean, and you're going to have to swim to get it. You can get it back, but again, you're eating into that precious time that you need for the elite challenge. There's my boat just waiting there. And something else as well is that the patrol boats that ride around the island, they don't do anything to you. You can literally ride dead into them. I actually climbed into one of the boats before, nothing happened. They're just there for show, just to give you a bit of an edgy feeling when you're approaching in your boats. Like, oh, I don't want to go around there because there's a patrol boat. They won't actually stop you. They don't have any coding that supports them getting out or firing any weapons or anything like that. And nothing happens if you bang into them, or even if you're alerted to them. They don't start shooting. The alarms don't go off. It's not like when you're on land and you get seen by a guard. So we're going in via the drainage tunnel. Remember, you've got rebreathers equipped, so you don't really need to use the submarine approach. You can use the long fin and then just come back to the drainage tunnel. As long as you have obtained the cutting torch during your setups and you've scoped out the drainage tunnel at least once during your setups, you'll be good to go. And I've got videos on this on my channel showing exactly how to scope out the drainage tunnel. So we're getting close now to where the roof, where I'll climb up onto the roof. This is a really cool way of just avoiding running around and dealing with guards, particularly if you're in a situation like me where you're doing it solo, so you're not going to bother going anywhere near the secondary target rooms, so you don't need to worry about creating a path for yourself. You're not coming back. You're going to go into the office and then you're going to go off the island, and this is exactly the right way to do it if you're a solo player. So when you come through, just take a left, don't go anywhere near the pool or anything like that, and climb up onto this little walkway, and don't worry if you slip off, just keep walking up and then climb up onto this decking, and then you're on the roof. And once you're up here, you can avoid all the guard activity. Be aware that there are still guards walking around underneath you, so you don't want to be seen or stand too close to the edge. And if you do slip off here, you can run around and climb up again. Of course you can just run through, but there are guards walking around, so being aware of the guard routes and where they stand is key. But so far, you see, I've not had to take out any cameras. I don't have to interact with anyone. The only person I'll interact with here is this guard, and you can slip past him if you want to wait for him to go back to his post, but you're going to have to kill him later as you go through the gate anyway, so may as well take him out. So this is the first guard that I've had to interact with. That's it, he's down. There's another guard here. Again, you can run past him. We all know this guard. Usually take him out to try and get the keys. I'm going to hit him on the back of the head because I want the keys, and there we go. So that's two guards, and then of course you've got Ernesto, who stands at the top of these stairs. You just want to wait for him to come down. We all know that you can still walk past Ernesto, and somebody told me the other day in a comment on one of my videos that he thinks that Ernesto's been moved, and he does stand at different positions, sometimes very close, sometimes a bit further away, but you can always take him out if you want to, as long as you don't. I wouldn't recommend shooting him. I've seen people do that, and it always makes me a bit nervous because for some reason, I think it's because some of the guards around the compound, particularly this walkway, the internal part of the compound, have the ability to hear what's going on around them as well as being able to see them, and I think that's represented by the red cones of vision. I think they have an heightened sense of hearing as well as vision, so you need to be careful firing bullets, even with a suppressor. It's particularly if the guard then makes a noise as he collapses. This is a Cayo Perico pistol. Make sure you pick up the key. Somewhere in Vinewood there will be a guard falling asleep outside a one of the bars in Vinewood in the city, and you just need to interact with that random event to pick up a key, and then forevermore you'll be able to collect the Cayo Perico pistol and keep this. This is a representation of the James Bond gun from the film The Man with the Golden Gun. When you have a hard heist, you have 4 hacks to do, but if you just follow the process, it's literally counting through the slides 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 4th line it's 4, and then the 5th line it's 5th. That's the easiest way to do it. You'll be able to nail it. You can see it because I emptied the safe. I've got nearly 480,000. My primary target is the bearer bonds, which I don't know why, but for the last 5 heists in a row I had the bearer bonds. Crazy, right? I had the Panther, and then I just had continuous bearer bonds, which I don't mind because it's the 2nd highest in value if you discount the Panther. So with the ruby being the most value target, and then sorry, not the ruby, the pink diamond being the most value, and then the bearer bonds, and then the ruby necklace, in that order, and then of course the tequila. So the bearer bonds don't bother me. I'll take that. It's more than 1 million, and I'm not going anywhere else. I'm just going to head directly out of the island, back down the stairs, take a right. I've got the keys in my hand. I've already taken out the dude that stands near the gate that I want to go through. I took him out. He was the first guard I interacted with, so that's why I took him out, so that it gives me a nice clear exit path. And then it's just a case of taking out the 2 guards that are standing by the gate, and you don't need to take them both out. You can take out the guard on the left and leave the one that's walking around, but you know, I've got to admit I do love whacking the guards over their head with the back of my pistol. And there you can see your exit point dead ahead. By now I guess everybody has worked out how to do this, but I know there are new people joining GTA all the time, every week, and it's probably their first time doing the heist. I still get comments all the time asking for help with the heist, so I hope me showing you a video like this where you can see the full process actually makes it easier for you to see how it's done. At this point you've reached your 2nd checkpoint, so it's all about checkpoints. I talk about this a lot in my videos, that when you start the heist, your first checkpoint is coming through the door at the bottom of the stairs. The 2nd checkpoint is here. So once you get to this point, you're not going to ever have to go back and redo what you've done. You'll always come to this gate. As I didn't alert anyone in the island, there's no one coming for me, so the guards had stood with their back to me. They're not aware of me. All I've got to do is avoid them. So whack him on the back of the head, get on the bike, take a left here, right across the grass, and your exit is dead ahead. And you can do all of this without interacting with any of the guards. And my bag's full, and I've got my primary target, so what else do I need? I don't fiddle around with anything else. Let's just get in the water, let's swim to safety straight ahead, and then take a left as you reach the sort of dark part of the map where you can see there's like a wall of sort of an ocean wall, and ahead of you take a left there and just keep swimming until that message on the screen disappears, and then you know that you've come to the exit point. And this is the super simple way to do the heist. There are so many variants to the heist and different ways that you can do this and different approaches, and I still discover new things all the time. And I think that's partly because it's so deep and there's so much going on, but also because Rockstar just keep adding things to try and keep it exciting. I still think that the Cayo Perico Heist update is the best update that they've done, and it's really opened up money making opportunities for everyone. I've made 7 or 8 million in 1 week doing heists back to back, and I wasn't even trying that hard. So here we are, dropping off the target, picking up the money, and a tidy take home for me. So I hope everybody's still going back to the island and doing what they need to do. Keep at it. Very soon we'll have another update on GTA, and I'll bring you all the content right here. So make sure you like and share, and interact with all the videos, and check out the links in my bio for my other social media as well, my TikTok, my Instagram. Keep it real, keep safe out there, and I'll be back with another video very soon, I promise you.